Recently, I've seen a lot of things over YouTube about the Amazing Digital Circus, and after watching the pilot episode, I decided it'd be quite fun to take some of the characters and turn them into dragons. We join two of the channel's narrators in the world of the Amazing Digital Circus as they try to figure things out. I'm super excited about this one, I hope you are as well. Let's bring these illustrations to life.
Nexum, I don't suppose you know why we're going on this wee little adventure today?
Afraid not, though I do have a feeling it's not somewhere we're going to like. It's just a feeling, but every time we help the boys out in the lab, they tend to, well, send us on some crazy mishap of an adventure.
Aye, that be true. Though, it's not like they be the only ones at fault, is it, Nexum? That there device on your arm seems to be a factor in those mishaps, doesn't it, lad?
Well, that's down to the shoddy machines they use here. I mean, I've had no issues just using my device in the past, let alone before I met you all. I was jumping from dimension to dimension all the time, without any major issues.
Hi, I've been told to report here and join you on your mission today.
Oh, yeah, sure. Nice to meet you. What is your name again?
Lizzy Freeman. Nice to meet you both. I really haven't been told much about what's going on, just to report here, meet the two of you, and aid you in whatever you're doing.
Sounds like you know as much as we do, lass. I guess it's travel through the device and see what adventure lies ahead of us.
Hey, Erronfold, you seeing this? Looks like we're in some kind of strange place with a giant... Wait, is that a circus tent?
What's a circus? And that be a rather large, and colourful place as it seems. Perhaps we shall have a look. What do you think, lass? Lass? Hey, Nexum, where'd she go?
Where'd who go? Oh, wait, yeah. What was her name? Lizzy, was it? Yeah, that was it. Erronfold, did you see where she went? She did enter with us, didn't she?
Aye, lad. She was the first to go through the portal. She's a bit of a mystery, but maybe she's inside this tent. Let's head over and have a look, shall we?
I guess that's as good a plan as any. Wonder if we'll find her here. Not sure it's going to look good to lose somebody on our first mission with them.
Nexum, lad.
Yeah? What's up?
Well, I'll be exactly what it is.
Say what? What do you mean, up? Wait, is that a...
Dragon, lad. 'Tis a dragon. You think I can slay the beast if it comes down here?
I think it's best you don't until we know a little bit more about this place. Looks like it's coming down this way. Now remember, Erronfold, you can't slay this one, okay?
Fine. I won't attack the beast unless it attacks us. But dragons are mindless beasts. Well, many are. I wonder what it wants. If it thinks I'm a tasty meal, it'll be in for a bit of a shock.
Who are you?
Erronfold, other than that dragon talking, doesn't that sound like...
Oi, lad. Sounds like the wee lass we came in here with. But somehow she's become a dragon, with a bit of a circus style. Well, I guess now she matches the place with that tent behind us.
Hey, can I ask you some, your dragonness? What's your name?
My name's Pomni. I don't remember my actual name. This strange being, a set of floating teeth and mouth and eyes on this, gave me this name. Afterwards, he brought me out here to see, I think he said, an island? Then I saw you down here and came to see what was going on.
Is this strange creature really another type of dragon?
I think so. If that's what we are, now that you think about it, you're both a bit small. Can you fly?
Flying is a no-go for us, I'm afraid. And we're not dragons, we're humans.
At that moment, a strange being came down and introduced himself as Caine. He waved his arm and all of them were taken inside the big tent.
Erronfold, is it me, or is everything here looking some kind of dragon or a strange circus-themed creature?
It's not you, Nexum, lad. This is a rather strange place indeed. I think it's not ideal to try and slay these beasts, however. Not to mention, I've got a bad feeling in my bones about this place.
Don't worry. Once we figure out what's going on here and see if we can find Lizzy or, well, turn her back into a human being, we'll use my interdimensional doohickey and we'll get out of here.
While inside the tent, the strange being gave a bit of a brief overview, taking Nexum, Erronfold and Lizzy on a tour of the place. Within an instant, they're all floating in the air. The strange being took them outside the tent, saying, "This is the tent, the main place where we stay and where you can find everyone." The next place was called the Grounds, which only had a lake and a carnival area.
Erronfold, does this place seem a little bit odd to you? I mean, it's a bit on the, well, everything's not what you'd expect based on our worlds.
Aye, lad, but I'm more concerned that we just got taken up and introduced to a talking moon and sun. And did that moon just flirt with that strange floating mouth thing?
Yeah, I'm trying not to look into it too much. It seems that's a massive can of worms with a whole lot of unanswered questions just waiting to mess your head up.
Aye, but what's this massive place now? Did it just say it's called the Void?
Void? I wonder. Looking at this, I think I know what kind of world we're in.
And what world be that?
Before Nexum could answer, they were all back in front of the tent. The strange being said to Nexum and Erronfold, "They don't look like they belong there. All humans who enter this place would fall victim to the curse of the digital circus and be turned into dragons with no memory of their name, much about a lot of the world they came from, other than how they entered. They all would want to leave, and knew that they were not in their original bodies. The only thing is there's no exit from this place." As this is being said, Pomni, the former team member Lizzy, began to fall more and more into a pit of despair, anxiousness, and looking a little bit unhinged. This could be due to the shock of what's happening, and being in a strange place all of a sudden, with strange creatures and strange things happening. The strange being said its name was Caine, and gave Nexum, Erronfold, and Pomni an adventure to do with the others in the tent. That was to get rid of the Gloinkling's infestation.
An infestation, is it? Just point me in the direction and I'll get rid of those gloinkling things for ya.
Trust you to find something to slay. But I guess we should tag along and see if we can find a way out of this place. Not sure what this curse of dragons thing is, but looks like both you and I weren't affected.
'Tis true, lad. I wonder why that is. And what's a digital circus?
I think it's confirmed what I thought on that tour in that void place. I think we're in another digital world, similar to that Minecraft world we entered.
Digital world, you say? If it is, there might be something more interesting for me to slay, other than these gloinkling critters.
It was at this point, Pomni, Erronfold, and Nexum joined another of the cursed dragons. This one was named Ragatha, and looked like a strange cross between a dragon and a ragdoll. A button for an eye, red string-like hair, and purple-covered body, wings, and a dress-like feature. Her hind legs, tail, and face were a pale skin colour with a red triangle for a nose. Ragatha decided to get another of the cursed dragons to join this adventure. As she was explaining about the rooms in this place, they passed a den-type lair for Pomni, but they didn't go in.
Nexum, lad. I'm not sure why, but best be on guard. The bones are aching and I'm sure something bad's about to happen. Though, I'm not sure what exactly.
Come off it, Erronfold. This place, although giant and strange, is rather boring. I mean, that Caine fella gave this mini-adventure, and I'm sure he has the most freedom and control in this place, looking like some kind of magical dragon thing. Ragatha turned around and asked Nexum and Erronfold how come they weren't turned into cursed dragons, and how come they had their memories. We're not too sure on that one, Ragatha, was it? Mind if I call you Rags?
Nexum, lad. That sounds a bit rude. Best call her by her name, lest you be slain by a woman's scorn, even if that woman be a dragon.
That's a good point. Sorry, Ragatha, that was a bit rude of me. But we're just as unsure as you are. Has this happened before? You know, humans not becoming part of this cursed thing of the digital circus and being trapped here? Ragatha explained that this was the first time anyone had come to the Amazing Digital Circus without changing into a strange type of dragon creature. As they continued down a rather long corridor, Ragatha said they were going to get Kaufmo, who hadn't been seen in a few days. Things were going well, but it was a bit of a long journey, with Nexum and Erronfold being smaller than the dragons. As they were getting to Kaufmo's room, a figure could be seen following them, a set of scaly purple rabbit-like ears. It kept appearing and disappearing round corners.
Nexum, lad. I think we're being followed.
Erronfold, you mean by what a strange thing in this place? Has long purple ears, yellow eyes, and a rather menacing smile.
Well, the ears, yes. But what do you mean by the rest of it?
I think you better take a look over there.
Over where? Oh, now I see. I'm not so sure I like the looks of this one, let alone trust that sinister face of his. 'Tis a he, I assume.
It does seem like a rather interesting circus dragon thing, though it looks a bit furry and more like a winged bunny type thing than a dragon. Guessing this thing was once human, then this curse. Though I don't think I trust this fella too much as well. As they continued down the corridor, they finally came to Kaufmo's room, which had a picture of a kind of sad-looking clown-like dragon on a rather large door. Ragatha knocked on the door, but there was no response. She shouted hello a few times, but there's no answer. That was when the large, purple-like bunny dragon came towards the group and the door, shouting for Kaufmo. He banged on the door a couple of times, but there's still no answer. All of a sudden, the purple dragon pulled out a set of keys. Ragatha was shocked and shouted, "Jax! What are you doing with those keys? You're not meant to have keys to any room but your own." Jax replied, "It's fine, I've got a key for every room here. Now which one was it?" He tried a couple of keys until one worked and the door unlocked. "Hey, Erronfold, looks like you're right about not trusting this guy. He says he's got a key for every room in this place. That's good to know, but at the same time, is a bit...
A bit creepy, lad. Aye, I know what you mean. But at the same time, at least we get to see what's in one of these rooms. If that purple fella Jack steps out of line, my bones are itching for a fight with him. He looks a bit more troublesome than the others. Not sure what it is, but he seems to have a rather carefree attitude and seems to be a bit odd since he's trapped in this place."
I know what you mean, although having all those keys might help us explore this place later. Hopefully one leads to something on how to get out of here, or how to remove this curse. Jax then turned to Ragatha and asked, "How long's it been since we last saw Kaufmo? A few days?" Ragatha responded, "At least a few days. He was rumbling on about seeing some door labelled exit, but we all know that can't be the case. Caine's told us there's no exit from this place. It doesn't exist. And we've all been here for a long time. Even Kinger, who's been here the longest, hasn't seen an exit." "Kinger? Maybe that's the one that looked a bit like a chess piece type dragon creature. One of those doors back there. Either way, it seems a bit odd that this Kaufmo fella said he saw an exit, but Caine and the others are convinced that there's no exit from this place, and it doesn't exist. What do you think, Erronfold?"
"I think there's more going on here than meets the eye. Not to mention this curse thing seems a bit odd and rather interesting. Still can't figure why we haven't become some form of strange dragon-like beast in this place. Thought of it makes me laugh a bit, Nexum."
"Oh really? Why is that?"
"Well, can you imagine good old Erronfold here looking like, or being some form of dragon, considering back in your own dimension, I'm a famous dragon slayer. Would be a cruel twist of fate indeed."
Or a rather funny ironic turn of events. It was at this point Jax opened the door and Ragatha gasped in shock. As they looked in the room, all they could see, all over the walls and pictures, was the word exit scratched into everything by Kaufmo's claws. At that moment, in the darkness, in a corner of the room, a set of eyes opened up. Pink, yellow, blue. Eyes started opening up everywhere on this thing's body before all of them looked in the direction of the group. "What the heck in all things mech is that? Is that another cursed dragon? This one seems a lot, and I mean a lot creepier than the others. You seeing this, Erronfold? Erronfold?"
"Told you, Nexum, lad. My bones always know. Figure this thing be the cause of my uneasiness. It looks like it might be a fine beast of battle. What do you reckon? Can I slay this thing?"
Ragatha, who was now in shock and clearly afraid, said out loud, "Kaufmo's extracted." Apparently, this was a really bad thing. That happens to the cursed dragons when they give up. She then said, "I'm sorry I didn't laugh at your jokes. They were funny. I was just having a really bad day." At this point, Jax, rather cautiously but casually, entered the room and picked up a large boulder near the door. As he started to walk out the room, he looked at the large black mass with eyes and said, "Hey, Kaufmo, I just came to collect my boulder. I'll be going now. Love what you've done with the place." As soon as Jack took a step back, the strange creature opened what could be a mouth and let out a loud cry. Then it moved into the light of the room and charged at the group. Okay, a bit of a shameless plug. If you like the artwork on the channel, why not join Patreon for just £5 a month, where you can get all the artwork from the videos along with inks. They normally come out a day before or on the day of a video. Alternatively, you could be a member on the channel. There's 2 tiers, and you get access to the artwork, members-only posts, and the stylish emojis and badges that can be used in the comments. The large black mass of eyes charged at the group. This strange creature was apparently Kaufmo, who had given up, and the dragon curse had fully taken over, changing this once human turned dragon into a rather large creature, much larger than the dragons, not to mention Nexum and Erronfold. As the creature charged at the group, they all jumped aside to avoid getting hit by it. Ragatha dragged Pomni to the side, but when they turned around, the abstract beast swung its tail around, hitting Ragatha square on and just grazing Pomni's front leg. The pair were sent flying out of the room into the corridor. Meanwhile, inside the room, Nexum, Erronfold and Jax were standing between the creature and the open door. Yo, Jax was it? How do we stop this thing? You must have come across this form of cursed thing before, right? Jax just looked at Nexum and Erronfold and did a small wave of his hand. Nexum couldn't believe it. This large purple dragon was about to leave them to deal with this creature while it made a rather casual and nonchalant exit from the scene with its boulder. Erronfold, however, had become enraged by this. His blood boiled as he turned to Jax.
Are you being serious? A large dragon-like fellow such as yourself is running away. What's the matter with you? Turned yellow or something? Get back here and fight this beast with us. Least you can do is help to subdue your power here, can't you, buddy boy?
It was no good. Jax was ignoring Erronfold and heading out the door.
Get back here, you coward.
With that, Erronfold charged at Jax and began to fight him. He swung down his spear and hit Jax on his back. Jax flinched in pain. He was more surprised that the small human was able to make him feel anything, especially considering the size difference. Jax hit Erronfold with his arm and sent him flying into the corridor as the pair began to battle and trash the place. Erronfold was not budging an inch in this new quest to get Jax to go back in and help them fight the abstracted beast. Erronfold, what are you doing? Stop playing with that guy and come help me with this. The abstract dragon's shadow covered Nexum as he turned to see the towering creature over him. Nexum looked up at the creature. Yo, Erronfold, could use a little bit of help here. This thing looks like it wants a Nexum-sized snack, and I've got no plans for that to happen. Erronfold? Oh, scrap. The creature then smacked Nexum, sending him flying across the room into a wall. The creature then charged out of the room, destroying the door and causing it to explode into pieces, before looking around the corridor. Ragatha and Pomni just looked on at the creature as it ran off. Erronfold and Jax had been fighting and continued their fight outside the tent, completely unaware about what was going on inside. They had both seemingly forgotten about the distracted Kaufmo, and were in their own world fighting each other outside without any constraints. Ragatha and Pomni were in a bit of a dilemma. Ragatha had started to glitch and become distorted in a range of glitched positions. While this was happening, Ragatha was in pain. She told Pomni that it'll be okay, and she needed Caine. Caine could fix what was happening to her, and maybe he could help Kaufmo. Pomni was about to help Ragatha to find Caine when she noticed her front leg begin to glitch. This scared her even more than all the events that had happened so far, and she ran off, leaving Ragatha on the floor in a glitching state. While Pomni ran off, Nexum came to and staggered out the room. Where'd everyone go? Hey, Ragatha, what are you doing down there? That doesn't look too good. Though it does confirm this is a digital world. What happened to you? Ragatha explained that the infected Kaufmo had struck her and Pomni, and this was the after effect of being hit by an abstracted, that the curse causes them to glitch, and only Caine could help them to revert the glitching. That thing sure can hit, can't it? Though I thought it was a goner when it hit me. Ragatha looked at Nexum with sheer shock on her face. Nexum seemed to be immune to the touch of the abstracted. This was a first, and not something that had happened before. She was in disbelief that he was fine with no signs of glitching. It was just something that had never happened in the Amazing Digital Circus before. Let me give you a hand there, and let's see if we can find Pomni, and that Caine fella. Meanwhile, Erronfold and Jax were still battling it out, outside the front of the tent. The battle seemed to be an even match despite the size difference, and lack of ability to fly. Erronfold was holding his ground. So at this point, Jax threw the boulder at Erronfold. Erronfold slashed down with a spear, splitting the boulder in two.
Arr, it is a fun battle be this, but I'm afraid, lad, you're not going to be able to beat good old Erronfold here.
After hearing this, Jax flew up into the air as high as he could, before diving down full speed towards Erronfold. Seeing this, Erronfold braced himself to take the charge full on, and as Jax was about to collide, he turned his body and swung his tail, hitting Erronfold and sending him flying through the air towards the edge of the floating island and to the void. Jax then turned and flew away, just as casually and nonchalant as when he was leaving the room inside the tent. Erronfold, however, was still flying through the air and cleared the edge of the island, being sent into the vastness of the digital void. Caine was enjoying some time with his helper Bubble, when he suddenly got an alert that someone had entered the digital void. Within an instant, Caine was in the void and stopped Erronfold from falling after stating that was close. Caine took Erronfold into the tent and to where Pomni was. Pomni told Caine about the abstracted dragon and that she was glitching. Caine saw her glitching and fixed her front leg. He asked where the others were, but Pomni said she didn't know, she was unsure. Erronfold were still looking for Jax to finish their fight. Jax was nowhere to be seen. Erronfold was quite annoyed at this point and wanted to vent his anger. He left Caine and Pomni and decided to go vent his anger and thirst for battle on the Groinkling infestation. Hey, Ragatha! How long have you been in this place? What, you don't know? Well, I guess that makes sense. I've not seen anything that can account for time in this place. Well, other than that strange moon and sun up in the sky, for any concept of day and night. I need to find Erronfold and find a way out of this place. Ragatha again said to Nexum, there's no exit to this place. I wonder where Erronfold got to. He's probably fighting with Jax still, or that abstracted dragon creature. Though, if this is a digital world, that means there should be a way out.
Where did Nexum get to? I was having so much fun fighting with that Jax fella, I lost track of where the rest of them went to. I'm sure they're fine. Wait, wasn't there a giant eyeballing creature in that room? Maybe I can slay that beast to settle my bones, or at least it'll be a strong opponent.
It was at this point Erronfold spotted the abstracted dragon and began to give chase after it. The creature was heading around the inside of the tent, trashing the place, but this was of little concern to Erronfold, as he was in the depths of the chase. Caine, however, was with Pomni, still explaining about the digital circus and some of the other humans that were now cursed dragons. Nexum and Ragatha were slowly making their way around the inside of the tent when they bumped into Erronfold, who was looking for where the abstracted creature had gotten to. Erronfold, there you are!
Nexum, lad, where did you get to and what's happened to Ragatha here? She's looking a little bit on the patchy side, and not like the doll-type dragon that she is, more like her.
She's glitching. Apparently that's what happens when an abstracted creature touches them. I think it's the start of them becoming abstracted themselves.
So, what do we do now? Can't be leaving her like that, can we?
We need to find that Caine fella. Apparently he can cure or fix whatever's happening to her. It's kind of what he does.
Well, that shouldn't be too hard. He was just over there. Oh, looks like I've lost him while chasing that abstracted dragon thingy. It should be back there somewhere. Let's have a look for him, shall we?
After travelling about for a bit, Nexum, Ragatha and Erronfold found a giant hole in the ground, surrounded by wreckage caused by the abstracted dragon. Erronfold's eyes lit up with excitement.
Nexum, lad, what do you think will happen if we were to be hit by that thing? Will we start to glitch like Ragatha over there?
About that. Seems like we might be immune to this curse thing. I got hit by that thing and I seem to be fine.
That's all I needed to hear, lad. If I see Caine, I'll send him your way.
With that, Erronfold jumped down into the giant hole to follow the beast, leaving Nexum and Ragatha standing there. Ragatha again was in disbelief that this human just jumped into this giant hole that seemed bottomless without any hesitation. As she looked at Nexum, he just smiled and said, "That's Erronfold for you. He just can't resist a good fight." Ragatha told Nexum there was another way down there, and the pair set off to find the escalator down to where the hole leads. As they travelled down to the bottom of the tent, Nexum was running through the events that happened so far. He was curious why Lizzy had changed into a dragon. He did have a theory why the curse didn't affect him and Erronfold, though nothing was proven. It was at this point Nexum decided to have a look at the device on his arm while Ragatha was slightly ahead of him. That's interesting. Looks like we could be here a little longer than expected. I had so much fun turning all of these characters into dragons, and I hope you all enjoyed how the story and the artwork of today's video came out. If you did, be sure to leave a like to let me know. I'm looking forward to the next episode of the Amazing Digital Circus, and I can't wait till it comes. If you liked today's video, why not check out some of the other dragon videos on the channel? We have turning phobias into dragons, My Hero Academia characters as dragons, or you might want to check out the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics as Jaegers video. That's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on Monday, which will be a live stream. Catch you next time.